All right, we're ready to go here. All right, we have DeMarcus. A lot of people probably know you from your days with Rascal Flats right there, though. You've got a new group we're going to talk to about just a minute and get the scoop on that, though. But first of all, Jason, I asked Jason Chef earlier that I know y'all are friends, that you got him in this golf tournament. I said, when y'all play, who wins? And he said, you're the better golfer.
That is completely not true. He's a much, much better golfer, that is to be sure, but I appreciate him saying that.
Well, he didn't. I tell you what, you had curb service that
you
rode right up here to us, so he had to walk.
Yeah, first class. He's allowed to ride, but he decided to walk. I mean, you know, bad decisions. Everybody makes them.
That's right. I've made my share of them there, though. All right. Again, you've been in this tournament for several years and all, and you've come back and all. Just talk about how you got started and coming here. And
well, I love this part of the country. I have a home in South Carolina myself, so when I started this 12 years ago now, 13 years ago, this is my 13th year, it just felt like another piece of home. I wanted to come be a part of the wonderful charity that they have going on here, and I love seeing these folks that I don't get to see during the year, so it feels like one big giant homecoming when you get to hang out for a weekend with a lot of your good buddies and play a little bit of golf. I mean, it's the best of every world you can imagine.
All right. Again, you had a very good career, lead singer with Rascal Flats there, and now,
my cousin was the lead singer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the bass player and keyboard player and producer. Gary, the blonde-haired kid, was my cousin. He sang lead.
Okay. Well, I know you have sung on a lot of things.
I have, yes, sir.
And you could be the lead singer
well,
in my book. How's that?
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Generation Radio now.
Yeah.
That I was asking Jason earlier about how you got the name, and he said you came up with it. So talk to us, how did you get the name?
You know, I got to thinking about all the music that we had, and we were going to be performing hits from Journey and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and of course Chicago and Rascal Flats, and it was kind of multi-generational, all the music that we had lined up, and it just kind of made sense to call it something that kind of encapsulated that whole effort in bringing all of those generations together. And Generation Radio rose to the top of the list. Everybody liked it, so here we are. And it's a whole lot of fun to hear songs from Chicago and Journey and Rascal Flats in the same concert. It's so much fun to do.
Well, that's the thing that I've kept up with you. I had the opportunity of talking with Jason 2 years ago, so yeah. I've been keeping a close eye on y'all since then. But you get the best of like 3 different groups. If you go to concert, you get to see 3 groups in one concert.
Yeah, I think it's people are surprised when they come because it's very, very entertaining, and it takes you on one long, you know, rocket ship ride back through time to some of your favorite songs of the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. So like I said, the name says itself. It's Generation Radio, and we cover the gamut of a whole lot of decades. So I think people have a good time. They don't really quite know what to expect, but 3 songs in, they're singing along to every word.
There you go. Now, did you have a favorite Rascal Flatts song that you like to do the most?
You know, probably my favorite still is God Bless the Broken Road. It's just one of the most beautifully well-written songs I've ever heard in my life, and it's been the part of so many, you know, engagements and first dances and weddings, and it's one of those timeless classics that I feel like will be around long after we're gone.
I asked Jason if he had a favorite song that you did, and he said there was too many. Did you have a favorite song with Chicago that he did?
Yeah, I think my favorite song that Jason ever did with Chicago is Will You Still Love Me, because that was the first single I heard him sing. I was really upset when I heard Peter Cetera left the band. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they were one of my favorite bands growing up, and I didn't know what to expect, and I thought there's no way they're going to find a guy that plays bass and sings the high tenor, the first tenor, you know. And sure enough, I hear this kid on the radio, and he's nailing the bass, and he's also nailing the lead vocals, and it was just a really cool moment to see somebody like that step into those very big shoes left behind by Peter.
I heard an interview you did recently and enjoyed what you said, that you reflected back on the days, the fun days on the back of the Baptist church bus.
Yeah.
And that brought back memories. As a teenager, that was my best years. And my girl I had to crush on back then asked me to go out for the first time, and I married her 41 years ago.
You did well.
From the back of the church Baptist bus.
What an incredible story that is. I love that. Yeah, some of my favorite memories are going to skating parties. We had skating parties at our church like once every couple of months. They'd take us skating, the youth group, and you know, it was a little dark on the back of the bus, so you could get out with making out with the preacher's daughter. if you snuck around, right? But I got in trouble a bunch about that.
We had the old game too that I don't remember the song back dating myself, Pass It On, where you could just kind of pass that candy on to that girl next to you on there. And then the candy would kind of slip and go from there. But we had those games on the back of the bus right there. All right, I've got a couple of songs that I'm going to tell you from Generation Radio I want you to tell me about.
Okay.
That I love these songs, along with the old ones y'all are doing too. But I hope you find it. I believe that's one of your songs, wasn't it?
I Hope You Find It was written by Jeffrey Steele, and it was actually pitched to Rascal Flatts several albums ago. And it was one of those songs we didn't cut for whatever reason, but I always loved it, so I kind of kept it around. When it came time to do our record, I kind of played it for the guys, and I thought it was one that Jason could just sing the crap out of. And
that's a great
I was right.
song.
Well, I appreciate it.
I love it.
And he does indeed sing the crap out of it, and it's a wonderful message too.
All right, another one here that I really like off your new album is All Night to Get There. What can you tell me about that one?
We recorded that on an album with the Flats. I think it was the Still Feels Good album. I wrote that song, and I always wanted a chance to sing. Gary sang it on the record, and when we did this record, I always wanted a chance to sing that song, so I felt like it fit what we were doing stylistically, and it was a chance for me to step out and sing a lead vocal, and it was fun.
Okay. And the third song that I really like is Why Are You Calling Me Now?
First single off our new record. Jason and Tom Yankton wrote that, and I think if there's any song that really, really is indicative of what we're doing together as a band and captures that 80s rock and roll magic, I feel like that song is it. Huge arena vocals, powerful hook, and one heck of a lead vocal delivered by Jason.
Okay. All right, we got the lightning round questions here.
You got
it. The either or. You rather be a small town guy or big city guy?
Small town guy.
All right. Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Okay. Because I'm sure you've been through them in North Carolina and Tennessee and all. Are you an early morning guy or late night guy?
Well, it's a flip-flop. Now I'm an early morning guy. I used to be a late night guy. I would have to say late night guy, though. I spent most of my life there.
I cannot get up in the mornings. Dress up or dress down guy?
Dress down.
Now, I like that shirt right there. I was going to wear one with pink roses on it today. My wife said I'd look fruity if I wore that, so she made me wear this one right here, though. But I'm going to tell her you would have given me a thumbs up. Heads or tails?
Tails.
That's what tails comes up more than heads. People always think heads, but I was always telling my captains in football called tails, and we got the ball most of the time.
I've always taken the road less traveled.
All right, are you a SEC, ACC, or Big Ten fan?
Big Ten, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay, I hear you there. Spicy or mild?
Mild.
All right.
Got acid reflux.
I've kind of hit that road too.
Yeah.
All right, leather or denim?
Denim.
Would you rather be asking the questions or answering the questions?
If you're asking them, I'd rather be answering.
Okay. Well, we try to make them fun on this, though. And then one of the most important questions that I ask everybody, and I do a lot of pro athletes and things with this too, is if somebody didn't know who Jay DeMarcus was, what would be the most important thing you'd want them to know about you?
I would hope people would think that I treat people the way I want to be treated, and I try to make everybody smile, and I try to make everybody feel at ease.
That's a great answer there.
Thank
now,
you.
we have got to get y'all down here to Spartanburg.
Let's go.
Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium.
Right.
Last week, I went and saw 38 Special, and they've had Alice Cooper and Billy Idol and all there. They're trying to do a lot more, but I want to see you guys live. I've been keeping up with you on there, though, but we got to get y'all guys down here, though.
That sounds great. I'd love to do that.
I heard a compliment for you the other day. I'm going to pass this on in closing, that I was telling them that I was going to be doing an interview with you, and somebody had seen you, and she said, you know what, he's a really good guy.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love to hear that.
And that's what people think about you. I think
you,
a lot of you.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad that we have in common the back of the Baptist church bus.
Me too, buddy.
The best of the
best way to grow up.
That's right. It sure was. Well,
Yes,
Jay
sir.
DeMarcus has been one-on-one
Thank you.
with us today. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate
And again, I'm going to give you my card.
Okay.
So when you come back to Spartanburg, I'm going to take you and Jason to lunch. But we got to get you back. I gave Jason wants one of my hats too.
I love it.
We
You
got to
got
do
it.
that. But we're going to do that when y'all come to Spartanburg.
That sounds great, man.
Thank
Thanks for
you.